as Nigerian mark.
Well, as a Nigerian, it means when you say independent, free from some certain things, and the freedom you have, you have exhibited to do things at your own expense. Nigeria got independent in the year 1960, October 1st. A lot of things have gone wrong. I look as if we've not gotten the independent. It was only just record to us that we got independent in 1960, in the 1st October 1960, but yet we are yet to experience such independence. Because we are still under the same, like as if we are still built under a slave trade. That is what I'll call it, because we are still like a slave. That's why the fact that we have gotten independent. Nigeria are suffering, we are not celebrating, because hardship has been the talk of town for today. For you to even celebrate, what are you celebrating? Why to even eat, you can't even afford a square meal per day. So what are you celebrating? Celebrating a hardship, or celebrating that you got independent, or celebrating that you are living well? No, there's nothing to celebrate. But rather, Nigeria, it is time for Nigeria to rethink and to have sober reflection on what has come by all this while and the challenges we are facing, that is facing the citizen today. It is important for every Nigerian to own a home, but the government doesn't even make it even easier for anybody to even own a home. Even renting service, even difficult, not talk about even owning a house. And the present situation about even the hardship the country is facing cannot even make somebody to even have even a roof or even a shade, not talk about even a roof over his head. Things are going so bad that thinking about the house now is just by the way. Previous government have come by, have made several notion to it concerning the housing, but every now and then it keep getting worse. All we keep saying is building estates like that for themselves or for their own personal use, but not for the interest of the public. Concerning the housing issue, the government there's need for a committee, if possible, to set up a committee. If the government have been working on it before, maybe probably there are a lot of things that have been going wrong, which is not aware of. There should be a committee, and setting up a committee, there should be another setup of committee monitoring the committee that have been set up before, to ensure that if the housing has been something that has been put into place before, that it should be to carry out in the interest of the people, so that everybody can see how visible the housing has been. Because if it is something that is working, it should be visible. But for now, it's not visible. That means it's not working.
Independence simply means generally it is freedom from our colonial masters, freedom from Britain and the British. As a Nigerian, in the context of Nigeria now, we are not yet independence. There is no independence in Nigeria because we are still being affected by our colonial masters. They still dictate the tune economically and, of course, in terms of our resources in this country. We are still relying on Europeans for our existence while we are independent. So the independent freedom is not really free. You have to pay for our freedom, and we are paying heavily with our resources. So we can't say we are independent per se. Started the fight for independence 1957, we gained independence 1960. And I think how many years is that now? 64 years now, okay. 64 years now. And that has been a serious fight, especially with our leaders. Our leaders have not been they are not leaders, they are only after their own selfish interests. So, and it has been like that politically in this country, especially, and it wasn't because we have so many things dividing us here in this country, culturally, ethnically, and religiously. So they are using, the leaders are now using what is dividing us, our differences against us, the tribe, the religion, and culture. They are using it against us. So I mean, we are independent, but yet we are still struggling to survive as a country. In Abuja, it's not improving. It's terrible in Abuja. And of course, that we can see that in our courts. If you go to Nigerian courts now, from magistrate to high court now, most cases in the courts now, is their tenancy issues, their tenancy matters. That's why I even advocating in Abuja that we should have a special tribunal for tenancy matters. I mean, I think we have that in some states. So we have advocating that there should be another tribunal for tenancy matters. It's not easy because the house rent is getting worse, and we don't have where to stay per se. Even especially the commoners. Especially the commoners, you know, all those things in outskirts of Abuja, Kauru, Nyanya, Buhari, and the rest. We are paying rent with our nose, and of course, we can't afford to stay in the city. You know, if you want to stay in a good place in the city, talk of 3 million per year, just two bedroom, one bedroom flat, or 3 million per year. So, as a common man, as where do a common man get that? So, housing is very terrible in Abuja. These are the three basic things. We have shelter. We have shelter. Your existence as you are living, you have your shelter where you put your head. You have your food. Those are the three basic things that you need as your life, your shelter, and food. For existence. So that they are among the necessities. So it's very, very important for us to get a place to stay. But the thing is that they are doing their best. But those places, the estates that government are providing, they are not readily available to commoners. There should be a law regulating rent in Abuja. I'm talking about Abuja. In Abuja particularly, there should be a law regulating rent in Abuja. Yes, there should be a law regulating rent in Abuja because landlords should not just take everything for themselves, just dictate their rent. There should be a law regulating rent in Abuja and this country particularly in general.
Independence ought to be a piece of joy to this country, a freedom for everyone in this country. But today, what we are seeing our independence for, we call it suffering, slaves to our leaders. My people, fellow Nigeria, what are we seeing today? Are we celebrating or we are mourning? Nigeria has mocked today. We are not celebrating anything. If Nigeria can buy Nigeria rice, 100,000. I remember when I buy a bag of rice last 2014, 7,540 rice. If I think about that, I shed tears. In fact, Nigeria today we are not rejoicing. We are mourning. Where we send the message to our father. Amen. It's our father, the father of the nation. Please, he should look back and check his children. Are they doing well? Are they suffering? Are they enjoying? Are they celebrating of a truth? What is it they are celebrating? Is you think about Nigeria. Nigeria is suffering. Can Nigeria buy fuel 1,100 naira a per liter? Our own oil. What are we saying about the independence? What are we celebrating independence? We are buying fuel 1,800 and salary is remain salary. You are paying 120,000. Last 2 years, you are still receiving 120,000. I are still entering motor today. If you are entering motor before 60 naira, 200 naira, now we are entering motor 1,000 something, 2,000 something. We say we are celebrating independence. Please talk of house today. You will see a family, a father, a mother. Oh, when you see you shed tears for Nigerians. A civil servant I'm talking about, not the private. A civil servant serving Nigeria government. Husband and wife and 4 children living in one room because not occupy the room or parlor. Because a chicken change, they are getting office. Before you buy rice, before you buy this, where's the money? You cannot be able to achieve land. Please, I am sorry. Go have a single room now. They are renting where I'm living in Kurudu, Abuja, Nigeria. They are renting a single room, 300,000. With well, drawing well. I'm not telling lie, my God, my weakness. It's where I'm living. 1 bedroom flat in Kurudu, they are paying 450,000 in Nigeria. Why? Which country does this? For God's sake. Civil servant cannot enjoy, private cannot enjoy in our own fatherland. Where are we going to enjoy? Are we going to go to abroad before we enjoy?
Independence to me is freedom, say to say. But in Nigeria's situation that we are today, Nigerian independence does not give us forum or room to express our freedom as we ought to, as it ought to be. One, from the current trending, the economic trending that we're in, I discovered that things are, the inflation rate is so high that no one can actually express his feeling based on the take home, that is the salary we receive. So the independence to me is not friendly. Well, it's very important to own a home or a house or a property, because if you have a property, you have freedom, you have a relief. You are not under press paying annually. But if you are under a rent, you discover that they take home. By the time you settle the accommodation, the school, children, and all of that, is very tight. So accommodation, own our property is very, very vital to our existence in FCT. From the housing situation in Abuja, because of the material involved, the material, cement, sand, and all of this you use in building a property, the price of cement is so high that the property owners, they are not finding it easy with. So the price of accommodation is really high. So I will, on my own opinion, say that accommodation in Abuja or currently in Nigeria is not friendly.
Well, it's very, very unfortunate that we are not moving forward as at now. You know, there's nothing to celebrate about it, but that's why the Asiwaju himself said there's going to be a low-key independence this time around. When they came in, dollar was 500 naira, 700 naira in black market. Today, dollar is 1,690 naira. And inflation when they came in was 13%. Today, inflation is almost 41%. So there's nothing we are celebrating about. And the nation is not moving forward. We are not even talking about how high cost of living now. We are talking about high cost of existence. That's what we are paying for now. So it's very, very unfortunate that what we find ourselves today. So there's nothing to celebrate about. We are not moving forward, and the situation is getting worse every day. Within 1 year and 1.5 years, that's why you came in as the president of Nigeria. If you have the database and the statistics of people that have died, you know that it's higher. It's only that with Nigeria we are not collating data. You know, people are dying every day, malaria drugs, everything is more expensive. You know, people are dying of hunger, poverty. So we are not achieving anything for the past 1.5 years. Nothing was achieved. The corruption is high. It's going to 2 years now. Which housing? Where people are living, where people cannot afford 1 square meal. How are they going to survive? It's corruption. Let's keep this corruption. Let's keep this corruption. I think the major problem we have now is corruption. Even the housing sector, there's a corruption. They said they want to build 3,000 houses in each state of the federation. Would that one take to who? Our population is over 250 million, sorry. So we still have a long way to go when it comes to housing sectors. You know, I can tell you today that 69% of Nigerians do not have house of their own. For my database, 69% of Nigerians, and they cannot even afford to pay the rent. 69% of Nigeria cannot afford it. In this government, do you know that there is agreement of rent now everywhere? So people are paying more. People are paying more than what they are paying before in everywhere. So that's why I said that this government, to be sincere, to be very objective, they are not doing what they're supposed to do, and they need to do something urgent about Nigerian economy. Otherwise, according to my mentor, late Ganifa, once we push to the wall, Nigerians will react, and it's going to be violent anyway. What is the essence of living when you cannot afford 2 square meal, even 1 square meal? So we can't continue like this as a nation. When inflation is at top of the event, and corruption is at high level. See the levels of corruption now. It's very high within the government cycles. For how long will we continue like this as a nation? It's very, very unfortunate that there's no even middleman again. You either be rich or be poor. So that is the situation we find ourselves. People cannot afford a good, decent house. People cannot even afford to pay their rent anymore. Even the salary wages is 70,000 naira. Cannot buy a bag of rice now. A bag of rice is 95,000 naira, 89,000 naira. So what are we talking about?
More than 80% of 75% of Nigerians in abject poverty now. We have over 200 million populations. And if I'm telling you that more than 150 million Nigerians cannot afford 3 square meters, then what are we talking about? In every sector, what are we talking about? The investment, nobody can bring in any investor because Nigeria is not, the corruption is a high side. Nothing is moving. Even the people that, a lot of productions, they have left the country to Ghana. Maybe they need to have a feedback from Nigerians. Because the people in the village, maybe they are giving me wrong information about perspective about Nigeria's situation today. It's getting worse every day by day. In this situation, we are what concern with us when Nigeria is not moving forward. Let you go on the street and see what Nigerians are going through. A crate of eggs now is almost more than 5,000 naira. A lot of children now are not trekking 2 miles, 1 hour, 3 hours to school because their parents cannot avoid them the transportation fees. For how long will we continue like this as a nation? It's not about us now. Let's try to revive this situation we are. Let's try to do something urgently about what we are going through now. Because once we push to the wall, it's going to consume all of us. It's going to consume all of us. And very soon it's a gas powder that is going to explode any moment from now. And we should handle it with care. It's not about us. Nigerians are dying every day. Do you know how many people that die in the hospital because they cannot avoid malaria drugs? Ask the medical doctors, you see people are dying because when you say go and pay 3,000 naira, they can't avoid it. There's a serious poverty on the land. So let's tackle this situation first. People are not even talking about a decent housing now. But let them have something in their stomach to live on. Let there be hope. When he came, he said renew hope. Where would the renew hope materialize? When? How? When? It's going to 2 years now. We are still having renew hope, no direction. I think Obasanjo did very well when he came in 1999. He had performed excellently well. And I think I still respect him for that. When it comes to housing, I think that is when that a lot of civil servants be able to avoid, having a decent house there. But since then, the corruptions have been on top of Nigeria housing sectors. Not even the housing sector alone, all the economic sectors. So, and if we don't kill corruption will kill us. That's what I'm saying to people. If we don't handle corruption, if my brother is jailed for being corrupt, I will still. It's time we started. They should set up a special panel. Thank God for this new CG now. He said he's going to do something about corruption. I wish her well, and I wish her that we were able to do it.
Independence, for me, is when Nigeria got their independence, their freedom from the white people. That's how I view independence.
Independence is when Nigeria is liberated from colonial administration, from Britain. So Nigeria is an independent country, a country with sovereignty, that they can decide what to do, run their governance without interference of the foreign countries. Comparing the level of achievement, Nigeria is still lagging behind in terms of infrastructural development. You can see the cost of building in Nigeria is still on the high side. So common people cannot afford the availability of building houses. So Nigerian government should do something to bring down the cost of building. People are still living in shanties. And it's not supposed to be. If you calculate from 1960 to this present time, you see that we are lagging behind, honestly. When you think about the economy, a common person cannot afford to build common 2-bedroom. For you to erect a structure now, we take you millions of naira. And that money is not something you can just say millions. It's very difficult to get. So actually, we need to rethink and bring down the cost of governance so that one can have affordable house.
Outside late Yaradua, President Yaradua, I think the next person that have taken over, that at least Nigeria have been on a very good shape, was Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Outside that, there is no other any other one.
The Nigerian that ever ruled is Awolowo, because there was my time. Then after Awolowo, I think it should be now Goodluck Jonathan.
My best leaders since 1999 come to Musa Yar'Adua. May God bring in an office in heaven that AC will not off for Musa Yar'Adua, our former president. Second president we have Nigeria in since 1999 come to Jonathan, wherever he is, may the Lord bless him, may the Lord reward him. As whenever Nigeria speak, he reverse back, he think of Nigeria, say, this is a man, say, I will not take any Nigeria blood to me to get power. Oh, may God, may heaven celebrate that man, that young man. Because about that time, when we speak, when he do something, we cry. Himself, he reverse back.
President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, during his days, fuel was affordable. But from what we are seeing now, it is not easy to come by. A liter of fuel is 1,000 naira in some of the filling stations. But during Goodluck Jonathan, a liter of fuel was about 87 naira per liter. So look at the parameter and the difference. So I will say that, to my own best of understanding, is a good president.
I would say this Yar'Adua, late president Yar'Adua, for me, because I was alive then and things were going smooth during that period. So I would say for me, that's like he's one of the best so far.
My birthday wish for Nigeria is, if only they can use this medium of this very process to look back and see what has been trending. People have been making series of complaints, and if they can look into it and work fast on it to ensure that all these things can able to subsidize.
My birthday wish for the country is that we should take the country, we should take things into our hand. We should take the faith into our hands. And I won't be advocating for revolution, but we should be self-reliant. We should try and see what we can do. We shouldn't be solely dependent on government. Yes, we as youth, we should try and see, use our intellect, use our talents to see what you can do after graduating. What do you think you can really do for yourself, not depending on the government for anything?
We pray for Nigerians. Nigeria, let our leader change. We pray for them. May God touch their hearts to do us well so that we can celebrate this country.
My birthday wish for Nigeria is that our leaders should kindly do more. They are trying, but they should do more in terms of security, in terms of standard of living. The standard of living is really, really tough to most Nigeria as we speak. So my best wish for them is that they should please give us a listening ear so that life will be a thing of satisfaction to every Nigerian.
I wish Nigeria well. I wish you have a good leader that will listen to us. I wish you have a leader that will, from his own, that will listen to the masses and do what the masses need. So, but very, very unfortunately, that the type of leadership we have today is a leadership that want to acquire the whole world to themselves.
I wish Nigeria well.
I pray for more grace. I pray for more wisdom for our leaders, so that they will grow well and they should move us from this level because we are suffering. We pray for God's wisdom. They should help us, I beg, we are suffering. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dearest native land. Though tongue and tribe may differ, in motherhood we stand. Nigerians are proud to serve our own dear sovereign land.
Addition